that was fighting for gay rights, and people were killed.
Nobody was killed at Stonewall.
Nobody was killed.
Excuse me, you'll have to go through the checkpoint. Sir? Ma'am?
I'm sorry, but I see a male Q and a female Q. I happen to be neither. So if I were to be patted down by either a male or a female, it would be a violation of my constitutional rights.
Okay, you can go through.
Mr. Fiocchi, combined with the brutal nature of these crimes, leaves this court no choice but to find the defendant. If you would just take a seat in the men's section. The women's section? What are you?
The last thing you'll ever see before you get completely assassinated.
Kelly Mantle is to the drag world what oxygen is for human life. Her very existence constantly sends cataclysmic shockwaves through the universe that is only rivaled by her constant ability to serve cunt. To the average person, Kelly Mantle is just a Rue girl that competed on season 6, but academic scholars know that her level of excellence extends far beyond that. So get your bacon ready because we are about to enter the world of Kelly Mantle. But before we start, this video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the #1 go-to place for men's grooming products. With more than 10 million members worldwide, there's no denying that every person has a specific hygienic need, which is why I'm excited to introduce you to this trio of trimmers. But what's the difference between these trimmers, you may ask? Right off the bat, the Lawnmower 3.0 Plus has an impressive sleek design with a glossy black finish. It features their Gen 2 updated ceramic blade with a plastic guard that's rounded for enhanced comfort, to reduce the risk of unwanted cuts. This means you can groom your boys with confidence. Next up is the Lawnmower 4.0 Pro. It features a powerful constant RPM motor, providing a consistent shave from start to finish. Even as the battery begins to wane, you won't experience any loss in performance. And with up to 60 minutes of runtime on a single charge, this device is ready to tackle even the most ambitious grooming sessions. Finally, the latest trimmer by Manscaped is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which has next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, now accompanied by an updated trimmer blade and interchangeable foil blades for enhanced performance. All three of these trimmers are waterproof, so you can use it in the shower or on the sink. So don't waste any time and head over to manscaped.com and use code GREENGAY for a whole 20% off your order, plus free international shipping. Get the deal while you still can. Now let's begin. Throughout history, there's been many important public figures that graced humanity with their achievements or influence at a large scale. In a way, it's a parallel to the life and legacy of Kelly Mantle, who just like most people had hopes and dreams, but not everything panned out for her the way she would have hoped for. If we're really being serious, Kelly is a very talented queen. What is really significant about her career is that she is one of the few queens from the franchise who had a pretty solid acting career that wasn't handed to her based on her appearance on Rupauls Drag Race, because she was already part of the Hollywood industry long before that. Granted, she was only really getting small roles here and there on TV shows or movies, but still she had experience that created an understanding of how to be able to evolve within the entertainment industry as time went on. Ever since Kelly Mantle was a young child, she always wanted to grow up to become a female adult film star named Cherry. But this is not what life would have in store for our dear friend Kelly. In fact, life had even better things, not just for her, but for the enjoyment of millions of fans around the world. If you had told me in 2014 that Kelly Mantle was going to go on to be a legend within the industry that is gay Hollywood, I would have believed you. Now, what it means to be a Kelly Mantle fan differs between individuals. Some understand the je ne sais quoi that she possesses, while others just get mesmerized by any clips of her that go viral. But when it comes to a fan that doesn't know much about Kelly, how does one even begin to educate them? For me, to talk about a legend like that of Kelly Mantle requires so much care. So I knew going into this that I was gonna really have to get my hands dirty in some bacon grease to make sure I could tell her story as best I could. The first thing you need to know about Kelly is that she loves music. And I'm not just talking about lip syncing to it. She loves writing, producing, and publishing many albums with her original songs. Something that only a handful of fans know is that Kelly used to be a part of a drag queen band called Transkontinental, with members that included Willem, Detox, Vicky Vox, and Ray Latre. This was before any of them got on Drag Race, and they were pretty successful with it for the couple years that they stayed together. But despite being in a band that did a lot of live singing, Kelly doesn't really count the songs that she made with Transkontinental as real music, because according to her, they just got drunk and sang covers of other songs. Plus, having to collaborate with a group of other drag queens with huge personalities was not the easiest thing to do either.
Cherry bomb, don't need love and spring sound too. Come on, baby, let me get to you. That night's burning teenage blue.
so by the time they all went separate ways, it was kind of like she could finally focus on her own craft again. After all, being a solo performer is something that wasn't new to Kelly. There's videos as far back as 2007 where she's singing her own music at local bars.
When I'm feeling lonely, I just fade away. I can't let you borrow my sorrow, it's not on loan today.
Or even higher caliber shows where you could tell that she had put so much thought and effort into what she was showcasing. What's more is that in this performance from 2009, she sings her song titled Satellite Baby. As you can see, she's sort of giving 2012 Lana Del Rey visual aesthetics here, but this was before Lana rose to fame. So could this mean that she took inspiration from our Queen Kelly? Let me know in the comments. Even though Kelly is a star in her own right, she's actually not the only person in her family that became famous. Her uncle was Mickey Mantle, who was an American baseball player for the New York Yankees, considered by many to be one of the best American baseball players of all time. What's interesting is that her relationship with her uncle Mickey was pretty normal for the most part. She remembers going over to his house, but that sometimes in public there would be people that would go up to him for an autograph. So she realized that there was something special about him. But it wasn't until the day after he passed away that a young Kelly walked into a convenience store and saw her uncle's face in the front page of a newspaper. At that point, she realized that he was a legend. In that same way, Kelly wanted to also become a legend in her own right. So following in her family's footsteps, she continued the tradition of loving sports. And she did this by becoming a queer artist. If you needed more proof of Kelly Mantle's early career success, then you might be surprised to learn that she was contacted by World of Wonder to be a part of the first cast of Rupauls Drag Race that was filmed in the summer of 2008. However, at the time, she felt like she was more of an actor, so she rejected it. Granted, she had no idea what the show actually was going to be anyway, so you can understand the decision. That's why after she watched season 1 and season 2 on TV, she contacted some people from production and told them that while she wouldn't compete, she would love to be a guest judge. But they told her that they already had real people for that. Even though she rejected World of Wonder's offer to be on season 1, and in turn, they rejected her offer to be a guest judge, Kelly still was a big fan of the series, and showed it by attending a lot of premiere parties that would happen in Los Angeles. Like in 2011 when she was at the season 3 premiere party, or 2012 when she went to the All-Stars 1 premiere party. Essentially, if there was a pink carpet laying around somewhere, then you better believe that Kelly was going to be walking on it. As I said before, towards the end of the 2000s and early 2010s, Kelly was part of a band called Transkontinental. Eventually, Kelly began to see how some of her former band members started to get on Drag Race, having their lives change completely. Willem was the first with season 4, and Detox was the second with season 5. While there wasn't an initial urgency that she had with competing, it was during that time period that many people, including herself, thought that she'd be a good fit for that type of competition. And so she decided to finally audition for it. Kelly wasn't your average drag queen when she stepped into season 6. Similar to Willem, she had a background in acting gigs throughout the decade leading up to her appearance on the show. But unlike Willem, she wasn't about to recite her entire IMDb credits on national television. To Kelly, being on RuPaul's Drag Race was just another TV gig that was going to hopefully open up new avenues for her to expand her career. But was her presence on the season beneficial to her in the long run? There's never been a part of Kelly that seemed like she was bitter about the way that things panned out on the show, or over the fact that she still hasn't been invited back after all these years. From the time she got cast to filming the first episode, Kelly only had 6 days to put together her runway package. This, of course, is very different from nowadays, with the season 16 queens apparently having had at least 2 months to prepare. But back in the day, it was a lot more chaotic for queens to get things done. It was kind of brutal that season 6 really went ahead with not just introducing the split premiere format, but also fully eliminating 2 queens before they even merged the entire cast. It was actually one of the few critiques people had for season 6, because it was bittersweet that while the split premiere allowed us to get to know both groups of queens at a more personal level, having them get rid of 2 contestants before the real competition began was a slight detriment. Like later on in the season, there's a moment in Untucked where they show a picture of Magnolia Crawford, and Adore Delano asks the rest of the room who that queen is, to which Bianca says that it's better she not find out. For the first challenge, the queens each had a box with a specific theme to the materials that were provided. Laganja got to assign them and gave Kelly the box of Downton Abbey, which is a TV show that's set in the Victorian era. At first, it didn't seem like things were going to turn out too bad, but that was until she walked onto the runway. In all honesty, I didn't hate this look when I first saw it, but when the judges pointed out that the flower petals on her top looked like bacon strips, it changed the trajectory of my life forever. Although some felt that it could have been argued for Adore Delano's Mantle's outfit to have been placed in the bottom 2 over Kelly's because it was a lot more chaotic. Kelly ends up lip syncing for her life against Vivacious to Express Yourself by Madonna. Both of them were sort of constrained by their outfits. Yet even though Vivacious was able to outperform her, I didn't think that Kelly necessarily did a bad performance either. Nevertheless, her story would write itself as RuPaul announced Kelly as the first eliminated queen of the season. The day after her elimination aired, Kelly uploaded to her YouTube channel the official video for her latest song titled Eliminated. In it, she's wearing the outfit for the only runway that she did on the show. The lyrics of the song talk about the many things that she could have done differently to change the outcome of how things turned out. What's funny is that she even starts reading Santino Rice for his no drag knowledge mouth.
I thought my hem was tight. Santino said it was lousy. What the fuck you know, bitch? And why your eyes so drowsy? You sass shade away on Project Runway long ago. Carry on, I'll be the Zen. I don't think so, cause you was eliminated. Don't you know who I think I am? Eliminated.
I strongly recommend you go check out this video once you're done with mine because it features the legend and icon Tammy Brown singing the chorus. About a year later, she released another song called Keyboard Courage, where she called out trolls that spend their time bullying people online. It was meant as an anthem for kids that were getting bullied or felt alone to gather strength within themselves to keep pushing forward. But in some breaking news, when I was putting together research for this video, I found out that the official music video for Keyboard Courage is no longer available. All that I found was the official audio version. The last time that I watched the music video was probably over 5 years ago, and all I remember was that it was camp perfection. So comment below #FreeKeyboardCourage if you want Kelly to make it public again. Moving on, Bianca has said in many interviews that she ran into Kelly Mantle when they were filming the promos for the season, which happened right after both groups were merged. It's during the filming of the promos that Bianca asked Kelly what she was doing here, and Kelly told her that she was part of the cast and had gotten eliminated first, making Bianca think to herself that it had meant that production was getting rid of really talented people. I mean, for Bianca to give you a compliment, you know that there has to be something there. Officially, season 6 technically had 2 first eliminated queens. Kelly Mantle and Magnolia Crawford both had the same amount of screen time, but Kelly managed to really uplift herself as the more memorable of the two in the long term, especially after Magnolia would end up quitting drag altogether for many years. Although, while there was definitely many fans that thought that she had gone home too soon and could have offered a lot more in the challenges that came after, Kelly says that she's lucky to have lived a pretty happy life, but it wasn't until her season of Drag Race aired that it was the first time she ever dealt with bullying. Only it wasn't just one bully, it was thousands of strangers on the internet that were giving their unwanted opinions. So it was a challenging journey in those first years after her season to be able to move past any of that negative energy. When you really think about it, every year there's so many queens that say they would have slayed all the challenges that happened after they got eliminated, which is a very convenient way of putting things. But in the case of Kelly Mantle, aside from her obvious lack of skill in design or sewing, every other challenge in this season she could have excelled at. I mean, imagine her being able to shine in the acting challenge that the queens did as soon as both groups were merged. Plus, she's also a singer, so she could have done well on the Rusical, and given the amount of comedy challenges, she could have been a good competitor against Bianca Del Rio. Or maybe I just have a good imagination. After season 6, while she was never invited to any All-Star season, Kelly has done some Drag Race adjacent content like her cameo on The Bitch Who Stole Christmas, or her close personal and business relationship with Trixie Mattel and Katya, who recently had her as a cast member for a part of their most recent international tour. Although my favorite thing that she's done recently has been her collaboration with her longtime friend Tammy Brown to make their hit TV show The Browns. That's produced a couple seasons so far and is a hilarious thing to play if you're hanging out with your friends or want something to make you laugh. What I do wish people understood about Kelly is just how daring she's been no matter what the odds were. For example, in 2016, she made history at the Academy Awards for the Oscars for her role in the movie Confessions of a Womanizer. While she didn't get nominated, she ended up becoming the first person in history to successfully submit an Oscars consideration to both the Best Supporting Actor category and Best Supporting Actress category, which was really symbolic for what it would mean in the future for queer artists in movies. And given that Kelly is non-binary, it probably meant a lot more to her to have that as one of her achievements. At the end of the day, something that the Drag Race fanbase has proven is that sometimes, while you may not have had the best run on the show, you can still spark something within fans to be interested in your journey. In Kelly's case, it can be argued that most of the rise in people's liking towards her grew bigger and bigger with every year that went by. Her personality in itself is charismatic to draw people in, so to have vessels like the occasional World of Wonder collaboration, a viral role in a TV show, or Trixie introducing her to her own fan base, it's safe to say that she has a very bright future ahead of her. Thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Make sure to click the link in the description and use code GREENGAY for a whole 20% off your first order. Do it while you still can. I'd like to take a moment to thank my patrons. In the Elite Pink Squad, we have Matthew Burns, Gay Uncle, Poppers Alberta, Suri Tish, Natasha De Leon, and Las Patitas. And in the Green Squad, we have Azure, Cayman Rider Furry, Edgar Allan Pup, IJS, Not a Punch, But a Keek, Jack Beck, Aaron W, Milk Forever, Captain Chaos, Bashir with the good beard, and Galeria Gomez. If you'd like to see your name on the screen, you can support me on Patreon. The link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I'm almost at 100k. Like this video and comment below what you thought about it, and I'll see you guys next time.